Ahoy! Captain Benzie here, coming at you with another Acting on Instinct. This time around, I wanted to address a common worry regarding Command & Conquer Rivals. How much money do I have to pay to be competitive? Now this video is going to go over this in detail, but the short answer if you're really pushed for time is none. As long as you have a little patience, and you burst play the game rather than try to push it all in one go. Now before you run off to the comment section to scream at me, I'd appreciate it if you stayed for the full answer, as I know mobile freemium games can be a little controversial. First of all, we need to cover a couple of basic concepts, namely the fair play system that the developers have put into place. This system is designed to keep the game realistically fair, whilst still pushing players to upgrade their units. In short, every league has a cap of how high units can be leveled. Anything above this gets reduced to the maximum level allowed in the league, as long as the player is in that league. In addition to this, any player facing an opponent with significantly higher level units will be in a challenge match. Should the lower player win the challenge match, they will receive double medals for the win. Should they lose, they suffer no medal loss at all, and they keep their win streak if they were on one before. Challenge matches also trigger if you're matched against someone with 200 or more medals than you. For a challenge match to trigger, however, a player's army average level must be within 3 of the league maximum. Therefore in Diamond, where the maximum level allowed is 11, players' armies must be an average unit of 8 to apply for challenge matches. This is in effect to stop players being stuck in a situation where every game they play is a challenge match, and therefore they're unable to lose any medals, which is naturally exploitable. Now the challenge match will then trigger if the opposing army is an average of 1.5 levels higher, or if the opposing player has at least 200 medals or more than you, as mentioned earlier. Now it's also worth noting that units unlock at certain levels, so just dumping money into the game at the start might seriously boost up the units a player has access to, but the league caps will stop them being too ridiculously far ahead. And when they unlock new units, they'll be significantly underleveled in comparison, unless that player pumps in more money. Ultimately, no matter how much money you want to throw at the game, you're still going to require a modicum of skill in order to progress. But how does it work the other way around? Well, the league caps are pretty tight and increase gradually. As you progress through the leagues, you'll earn reward crates, which will help you earn credits and cards to level your units. There are other ways to get credits and cards too, of course, without spending money, and these are covered in more detail in the Acting on Instinct video where we looked at the UI. I'll pop a link in the description below. But to list these points quickly, request common or rare cards you need from your alliance whenever you can. Donate unneeded cards to your alliance mates to earn a few credits and help your alliance. Complete your daily bounties to earn credits and a rare chest. Check the game every 12 hours to open the daily chest. Request convoys with fuel whenever you can. Now, as I have a day job, I come home in the evenings and I play matches to complete my daily bounties, earning me credits and a rare chest. I request a convoy whenever I can, and I'll rush it to halfway only if I'll be around to open the chest 3 hours later and order another convoy. So if it's just before I go to bed, for example, I'll let it trundle on the full 7 hours and save myself the fuel. Now throughout the day, I open these chests and the daily chests when they arrive, and order and fuel rush the next convoy. Now this alone will net you a surprising number of cards and credits. If you're really in need of particular cards, check out the daily cards in the store, but I genuinely believe that credits are best saved for leveling your units. If you do happen to get hold of any diamonds through your chests, it works out best to use these to rush crates when you can, then request a new one. The crates in the shop are awesome for a quick reward, but they're not quite as efficient as using your diamonds to rush crates over time. For the most part, people tend to find that they rise fairly swiftly, and their unit levels rise with the leagues. If you're playing intensively, you may find that your units are beginning to fall behind a little, around about the time you reach Diamond or Masters League, but it does depend on how long you take to climb. So I struggled in Gold 1 for a while. Therefore I managed to level up a few units, thanks to having more daily crates and bounties completed overall before I reached those higher leagues. Now, there may come a time, especially if you're an exceptionally skilled player, when you find that your progression overextends your unit levels. Reaching Masters League, for example, with a level 7 deck means no challenge matches, and it's going to be a very difficult time against opponents who may have decks as high as 10 or 11. That said, you can't fall down from one league to another, so you do get to keep your levels and units. Now sure, in this rare scenario, you may lose quite a few matches, but with patience and perseverance your units will catch up in time, without having to spend a single dollar. Due to how the costs to promote units, both cards and credits, increase, lower level players will invariably catch up just on pure dint of them requiring less in the way of cards and credits to promote their units and match their opponents. That said, if you do decide to spend any money on the game, which is a great way to show the developers that you love their work, I'd recommend using those diamonds to rush crates over time. Anyways, that about wraps it up for this video. I know that microtransactions are a bit of a controversy at this point in gaming history, so I really just wanted to assure players just joining Command & Conquer Rivals that they are able to level up and remain competitive in the game without having to open their wallet at all. But there may be periods that require patience and perseverance, especially if you're an exceptional commander. Well, I hope you found this useful. And tossing a like my way helps me survive, as little thumbs up emojis are my primary source of sustenance. My secondary source of nutrition comes via subscribers, so do hit that subscribe button if you have an interest in Rivals and you fancy seeing some more of my videos. Happy sailing, and see you on the battlefield.